name is Onita Castillo, and I'm the Original Designs team leader here at Rogers Gardens. And today I'm going to show you how to make a terrarium. So let's get started. First, you need to choose your vessel. I've chosen a very large vessel with tall walls so that we can use that to enclose the humidity inside the terrarium. Rock or gemstones, a paintbrush or tool to wipe off excess soil, potting soil or cactus mix, charcoal, sheet moss, a water sprayer, and your plants. First, we'll take this vessel, and I've cleaned it up and polished it so that we can start with a nice clean surface. Then I'm going to take our bag of any kind of aggregate or any kind of decorative rock. Here I've chose this really natural tan bean pebble. Then I'm going to pour this in and smooth it out so that I get a nice layer. Because this is a large container, I want to get a substantial layer so that you can see the rock. Then I'm going to take my charcoal, which is a horticultural grade charcoal. It's also what you use in fish tanks to clean out all the gross debris that forms when you're watering the plant from the soil. So the gravel inside the terrarium acts as a well to keep the water away from the soil so that it doesn't get too soggy. Then when you put in your charcoal, which acts as a filter, you want to spread it around evenly so that it catches everything that falls through. And I'm doing this with a paintbrush so that I don't get my hands dirty. Then after you put the charcoal in, you're going to take a nice layer of sheet moss, which is basically forest moss that's just been harvested and preserved. So I'm going to lay this in a nice layer, try to get the pretty green pieces on the outside so that you don't get the brown edges seen on the outside. And I'm going to pat this down and make sure that I get a full coverage so that when I place my soil on top, it doesn't seep through. The moss almost acts like a netting. Then you're going to choose your potting soil medium. Today I chose a regular potting soil because I am using green foliage plants. If you were going to use succulents, you'd probably want to choose a cactus mix or something with pumice added. So I've poured about 1.5 to 2 inches of soil in here, and that's because I have taller plants that I'm using. And it makes it easier if you have a taller terrarium so that you can build up and you have more room for larger plants. Today I've chosen the Peperomia lime, the Nephtitis pink butterfly, and Hypoestes pink splash. Then I'm going to take my 4-inch plant, the largest one particularly, and figure out where I'm going to place this. Because this is such a large plant, it's going to be my anchor. I'm going to choose a space kind of off to the side and dig a little bit of a hole, take a little bit of my soil off the plant and loosen up the roots, and place it down into the hole of the soil that I've made. Then I'll pat the soil around it and build a hole for my next plant. After I've got my plants in there securely and the soil pressed down around the plants to secure them, I'm going to add some top dressing. I'm also going to use the sheet moss that we used as the netting down here, and I'm also going to use some pretty stones to fill in to make a little pathway. A trick or a simple trick to use when putting this moss in is to roll it so that you only see the green side. You're only going to want to put small pieces around your plants. You don't want to bury the plants with sheet moss or else that can create mold. You don't want to use too many of the pebbles because then it can look too busy. You can also use shells or gems or little pieces of driftwood. Also, don't forget that this can be a 360 viewed arrangement, so you don't want to neglect the other side. Then after you've finished, you want to use your handy dandy paintbrush and brush off any soil that has gotten in the crown of your plants. After you're done making your terrarium, you're going to want to give it its first drink of water. I'm using this pump sprayer that I got here at Rogers Gardens. You can fill it with any kind of water, distilled, tap, or drinking water. You're going to want to make it so it's a clear stream. And you're going to want to water at the base of the plant. You don't want to put too much water in here as there is no formal drainage. So I'm only going to do small amounts of water at the base of each plant. After you're done doing your first watering, you're going to want to wipe away the excess water so that you can actually see your beautiful creation. You can have this as an open or closed terrarium. It depends on the plants that you're using. Because I'm using foliage plants, they don't mind high humidity. So I'm going to put this lid on, but throughout the days I'm going to make sure that I don't have too much humidity build up in here. That can cause mold or mildew. You can use any type of vessel, small or large. It just depends on what inspires you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.